shitty billionaires out there in the world. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos.
Oh, I hate Elon Musk.
It's
For
called,
real, school me on that.
Oh yeah. Terrible. This is called Billionaire Space Race. Mad old men rule. They bellow like out-of-control cops on the street. They grasp at dollars and call themselves saints of the future, bringers of the universe to all humans. Billionaire Space Race measures penises in units of time. Who can be the first to blow? It would be spectacular to see the money spent on humans in need.
Damn. That was bona fide.
I think
That one was also not in this war. The other
that one is in this.
Is it? I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I would have remembered that penis line. Okay, I know that came out pretty dirty, but I would have remembered that line.
And this is the title poem from the collection, this war. City silence rocks my heart. It's been a long time since I saw the battlefield as clearly as I do now. When I was just another soldier on that dark field of blood, you gave me life, but you taught me how to die. I know when your voice, when it calls out, breathe, live, die. But there are no words for this war. There is only death and pain for everyone who fights today. Our enemy pins us down. They hold us hostage. They take what little remains of that which sustains us. And they kill with their guns and bombs and their corporate boardrooms and their CEO salaries. The dead will never come back, but we should keep up the fight in their honor.
Damn, hot damn. Sorry. It's just a beautiful ending. It's really difficult to tell such a powerful narrative in such a short form. But the thing that piece does well is that punchy ending, bro. Miss, I'm not gonna talk a lot. Y'all welcome to ask questions between the poems. Raise your hands, and if I'm talking too much, let me see. Mija, let me see. Cállate, no, guys. You too, shut up. Let's see.
Can I read a poem that's not in the packet?
Yeah.
It's not from the packet?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't even have to ask, bro. You just do you.
Okay. This one is titled The Lonely Life of a Trillionaire. 'Cause we're gonna get a trillionaire pretty soon.
In the U.S.?
Pretty sure. Well,
In the world?
within the next 5 years.
Oh, shit,
probably
I would
sooner.
say within one.
Within one, for sure. It won't be Elon Musk, though, because
Thank
he's
God.
just running Twitter into the ground.
That's right.
I park my starships in the backyard. And if you like, later we could play in one of my empty skyscrapers or my underground bunker, said the trillionaire to his imaginary friend. Anyone who could have been his real friend was already dead because the AI he built killed them all with its mix of terrible poetry and a love of watching the beautiful orange light created by the explosion of all the trillionaire's favorite bombs.
Oh, what is up? That's beautiful, brother. I thought you were going to say Trump's hair, but you took it in a different direction. The beautiful glow of Trump's hair. No, China. Sorry if you're Trump supporters, but he's an easy target. For that?
I think he enjoys being a target.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he loves getting all that attention, and he can ramble about it in his speeches, which make no sense whatsoever. Talk about how handsome he is. We're beautiful, Eric. We the poets.
That's what somebody said yesterday. One of your students said, "Are you gonna put an author photo in the back of your book?" And I said, "No, I want people to buy the book and throw it in the trash." You know?
You're handsome. You look like nothing. You look like a poet, like Poet Society poet, bro. For real. You don't think so? Nah. Okay, yeah, it's a hat and a shirt.
My fiance dresses me so.
So tell her she did a great job choosing the zapatos. Does she really dress you?
She buys she shops. You know, she takes me shopping.
That's it. Erin's gonna take a page from your wife, future wife.
She takes me shopping at the drugstore and fix everything out.
That's what she's an amazing
I
eyeshadow.
don't have a say in any of my clothing.
Oh, for you.
Yeah. This poem is in your packet. That I gave that you got there. And it's called,
The other thing I forgot to mention is this. If you want to do an interpretation, now don't ask him what it means, because how you read the poem is gonna be very different than how he interprets it. I'm telling you from experience, when I've had book clubs and whatnot for my books. They get all kinds of stuff that I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go with that. So if you'd rather interpret a poem as opposed to a short story for that first essay, then go for it, right? Yeah, I think it'd be beautiful, because a lot of these issues are relevant to today.
this poem is called Soldiers. And, this poem came about because I have a friend who insists that, he insists that basically every Palestinian is a soldier and that they are not, that there is no such thing as a civilian in that war. So I was like,
And you're friends with
okay.
this guy?
Well, I used to work with him. So,
Okay.
and he sends me daily videos, try and recruit me over to his side, you know, and I was like, well, not if you talk like that.
Asshole. Sorry, that came out. Oh my gosh, I can't stand people like that. I had one telling me yesterday on Facebook, ¿qué me dijo este cabrón? Oh, I said, I understand where you're coming from, but fascism is not the answer. It's just not, right? And so he's like, what are you talking about? You're living in a fantasy world. I lived during the Trump era or the Trump presidency, and there was no fascism. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess you forgot about those caged children and women and families that were separated, you know? But I didn't say nothing. I said, God bless you, I'll pray for you, but don't contact me ever again. You jackass.
An important part of war was explained to me today. Anyone you kill can simply be declared a soldier, and then it makes it all okay. There are no civilians anymore. No such thing exists. The 10-year-old who hasn't eaten much in months but throws a rock is now a fine and fit soldier in perfect uniform. His house can now be declared the house of an enemy combatant. Maybe you give his mother a promotion to colonel. Now you can kill her too and not have to feel guilty about it.
Damn.
Dead soldiers are fine in war. Now they're not people anymore, they're all soldiers. Don't like someone? Call them a soldier and now you can shoot them, beat them, bomb them, eradicate them. It is so easy to do this. I know plenty of people who do not like me. I wonder how many of them have declared me an enemy soldier and would kill me the first chance they got. And in fact, on Facebook, I have had plenty of people tell me to go die. That's their. That's why every time I get into a political argument with someone, their answer is just go die.
Damn, they rough on you. Was that the end?
No. That was just an aside about the death threats.
The
I
death
get on
threats.
on Facebook, yeah.
That's not funny, but you know, yeah.
It has to be funny on some level, otherwise I.
We'll cry,
I'd
you're right.
cry.
The revolution will never happen if we get sad.
Dead civilians certainly won't fly, but change one word, call them soldiers, maybe enemy combatants, and you're free to go. It is funny how war works so well when you are looking for reasons to kill someone. Even the poets who cry out for peace can be called a soldier.
That's beautiful. And we've had, how many poets have died? Palestinian poets, 2 others,
There's
right?
1 or 2.
Yeah, and the reporters too. But you know, we have a history of that in Latin America. Whenever there was they wanted to eradicate a people, like the indigenous people in particular, or the peasants, they would go after the unions, the professors, the reporters, and then later it became the nuns and the priests that stood with the people, and they would kill them and put them in mass graves, and they're still looking for the bodies to this day. And somebody take a wild guess, how many people have been put in jail for these war crimes in Latin America and Mexico? Who wants to take a guess?
There.
Exactly, none, Zero. Damn, you smart, bro. Yeah, none of them. And they have confessed, and they still have nothing, right? It's terrible. Sorry, I'm not happy, no.
One last poem, then decide on the table.
Or we can ask Eric questions about his work. How many of you are poets?
What inspired you to be a poet?
Ooh, poverty.
You know, yeah, poverty. Also, I used to write poetry back when I was like a teenager, but it was all terrible.
Was it love poems?
It was all love.
Of course.
I was really good at the unrequited love thing
Who wasn't?
as a teenager.
So was I.
And I would just turn it into songs and poems and whatever. But then, after I got divorced, I decided I was going to go to grad school for creative writing, and I took a poetry class, and I just decided, I'm really better at poetry than I am at almost anything.
You know what, I would
else.
concur, in your romance writing is very good, but your poetry is like 1,000 times brighter, bro. It really is.
And that's why I decided, what am I going to use my poetry for? And I decided that I would always take these long walks by myself and just think about how terrible the world was and what, everything that was wrong with it, and how rich people were screwing people over. So I was like, that is going to be my topic for my poetry. So.
And it's consistently good and funny too. I don't know if you caught the humor about what was the penises? And that's funny. You just kind of snuck it in there. And I'm just like, good one. But he's got. You should do one of your anti-Trump poems, dude. Those are my favorite. And not because it's Trump. They're just funny. I dig a good humor.
Well, I think I don't have any in either of these two books.
But some of the poems in this war are really funny. Okay, no pressure. Do your last piece. We'll think about it.
This one is for. This is a poem called "No Windows for the Dead Rich Guy," and it's about the co-founder of Warren Buffett's company. It's Berkshire Hathaway. And Charlie Munger, he designed a dorm for some reason, I think for like Yale or something. And the dorm was not going to have any windows.
Why?
It was like one of the universities in California. I think it was like Berkeley or something.
Yes.
There was just a giant block with like all of the rooms on the inside, so there were no windows. Yeah, I heard about that.
So this poem is for that failed dorm design. I offered myself to the sun at the moment of the eclipse. Then I realized I should have offered up Warren Buffett instead. His partner, Charlie Munger, designed a dorm with no windows, proving that the rich really do want the poor to have no light. It's a good thing Charlie's in the dirt now, where he finally has no windows and absolutely no light.
Oh.
How did they justify that?
Damn!
He was rich.
He was rich, that's why. They're like,
But don't
okay.
you know that rich people's ideas are what produces wealth,
Right.
right?
He was.
They'll study better if they can't see anything.
Is that my phone?
Yeah.
Did I leave it over there?
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor? Can you bring it up here or chain it up? Just pass it up. Y'all get your Kobe Joe terms on my phone. I'm sorry about that, y'all. You're the last chain of command.
But,
Hey, I have a question though, Eric.
sure.
When you write your poetry, because I'm a pantser. I write by the seat of my pants.
Me too.
Yeah. Do you have the ending of your poem in mind, or do you just have the initial conflict, or is it a combination of both? You feel me?
I think I have, it's different for each poem really. Sometimes
Nice.
I have it in mind where I'm going with it. Other times I just like work it out, see,
Yeah.
and to let it go where it goes.
Yeah, I do think, because we talked about inspiration, and I think those long walks are very important. The same is true for your essay writing, that if you get yourself out of your stress space and give yourself time to breathe, for your brain to breathe and regenerate all that goodness, that energy, a walk is a good way to do it, right? I tend to take
Yeah.
very active walks at like 3 in the morning, And usually after I go for my little walk, then I can write, and I'll write for a good 2 hours. I also word vomit too, I'm a weird writer, but I think about things a lot before I write, and so by the time I write them, they're practically done, you know what I'm saying? But I often don't have the ending of a poem in mind, but I know what I wanna write about, and I know what my discontent and anger are. So a lot of times I write about labor and immigrant rights, and probably people think I'm a very angry person, but so many horrible things happen to undocumented people that it just kind of, you know? All right.
That was one of the things people always said when they read my poetry places. There's always somebody who comes up to me and goes, wow, it must be so hard living your life so angry all the time. And I'm like, well, yeah, the world is a terrible place.
But it's
Filled
also a
with
beautiful
terrible
place.
people,
Look,
it's also a beautiful
it's also
place.
beautiful and it's worth fighting for. My son was asking me the other day, why are you anti-capitalist? I'm like, cause it's killing people.
Right?
And the system is dying, and we got into it today. My son is a very precocious version of myself, but he's more intelligent than I am. But I would never admit that. We'll tell you about the conversation we had in the car. Oh my God, he's also been on the debate team since 5th grade, and I have a big mouth, and I don't care who you are, I'll knock you out verbally, you know what I'm saying? All the way down Lakeshore Drive, he'll tell you. They were like, oh, Mom, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, oh yeah? Let's go, round 2. Okay, let's give it up for Eric.
I'll say one last thing.
Bravissimo. Okay.
One last thing I was gonna say is, I taught, like, last year I taught revolutionary poetry class to a bunch of people in
I didn't know that.
to a bunch of I'll say it, white suburbanites in Palatine, Illinois.
They wanted to be
And
revolutionaries.
I don't think they wanted to be revolutionaries. I think that I was just chosen to be the speaker that day. I was like, your poetry class this week is political poetry.
That's
And
a good thing.
when I was done, they all came up, several of them came up to me and were like, can I write political poetry that doesn't sound as angry as yours does?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, you can. And they were like, oh, okay, thank God.
I mean, you tell the story how you want to tell it with your vocabulary. I mean, I don't even think your poetry sounds angry at all. Bunch of
To them,
softies. They
they
have not
were-
seen our poetry. Wait till me say it. They'll be like, whoa. I'm
Right.
taking it a little bit too far there, Lefty. I'm just kidding. All right. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you all.
All right. Coming in from Los Angeles.